Spreading the news like mayonnaise on toast. Gary, I have a mission for you. Flux capacitor? Okay. But let me tell you about that time I drove a cab.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to have you go ahead and...
Money that's something, chicks that read. I want my Mark TV.
First, you're not on TV, but I'm told it's like a radio program, this podcast. Now, that is some weird and wild stuff. Did you know that, Ed?
Yes!
Oh, well, I think we'll need to pray about that and ask your father.
Shut up, Marilyn! Why is everybody shouting? The Mark Roman Empire. Also, a podcast. You're nobody till somebody loves you. You're nobody till somebody cares. You may be king, you may possess the world and its gold, but gold won't bring you happiness when you're growing old. The world's still the same, you'll never change it, as sure as the stars shine above. Well, you're nobody till somebody loves you. So find yourself somebody to love.
That was my Markeoke of some Dean Martin, the tune that opened us up to film Swingers.
Oh, hi there. I'm Mark Roman.
Mark who? Mark Roman. Like the Empire. More about that later. So we are not recording at the Dresden. No, that classic Hollywood destination remains the Marty and Elaine show. Now, I confirmed this a few weeks ago amid a freemium matchmaking moment. Gone mild. More about that later. Perhaps much later. So where are we? We're recording at Jung Studios. That's Words with Friends, power letter J, as in Jay Gatsby. U, as in understand. N, as in, well, as my mom would say.
N, as in Nancy.
G, as in
Gorgeous!
Jung.
Jung Records.
Yes, as in a psychiatrist doctoral thesis subject, Carl Jung. You'll win a prize. Jung Records, professional music recording studio. We're here in North Hollywood, safely ensconced in the costume houses and the strip club next door district. Attention, legacy Mark Maron WTF podcast guests. This is a professional recording studio. There's air conditioning. There's a functional workplace bathroom with one of those badass air dryers. It's not a garage. Did I mention I'm Mark Roman?
Who are you?
Who are you? Who? Well, since you asked, according to my parents, I'm a disappointment. I'm divorced, and I don't go to church. You know, a church with real Christians. Now, according to my brother, I'm a threat to his military security clearances. Student editor kicked out of college, on the FBI's subversives list, and I'm the older brother. Aren't they the responsible ones? According to my ex-wife, I'm verbally abusive, which I gathered from the divorce, but I am an adequate sperm donor, which I gathered from events. Now, according to my son, I'm Dad. The guy he finds time to take a call from every week for at least 30 minutes, while being an honors college student, plotting his path to being a professor of chemistry, or, as I've long suspected, Jimmy Neutron in real life. According to the rocket scientist ex-girlfriend, I'm an AMW. You know, actor, model, whatever. Oh, you didn't know? Clearly, you're no rocket scientist. According to the Boy Scouts of America, I'm an Eagle Scout. Because, once a scout, always a scout. It's like being Catholic, but with less rape and molestation from priests. According to tourists around the globe, I'm Captain America. It seems my Hollywood Cap Busker act is worth getting a photo with for donations. According to LA football tailgaters and tourists from around the globe, I'm Lieutenant Frank. Or that crazy guy in women's short shorts and rainbow tactical leg warmers issuing fake citations and talking crazy shit to people as if you were Don Rickles. It seems my Lieutenant Frank F. Farish Busker act is also worth getting a photo with for donations. According to SAG-AFTRA, the Screen Actors Guild, I'm a member. In good standing. That means I paid my dues. Literally. Now, according to Twitter, I know, great source. What could go wrong? I am the Mark Roman. And even though I have only 1,064 followers, that's nothing. Drop in the bucket, okay? I don't even exist, all right? Apparently, there's these things called verified followers. They got the little blue check mark and stuff. Let's see, who do we got here? Daryl Hammond. Actually met Daryl. Daryl's a really nice guy. Really cool. You might have seen him on SNL. Does pretty cool. Bill Clinton. He also does Donald Trump. Damn it. Sorry, guys. I wasn't going to say that name the entire podcast. Times in which we live. I'm sorry about that. We're going to try to fix that in post. Totally. I didn't say that. Don't even think it, okay? Let's go back to the important thing. The Hateful Eight. I don't know why. Yeah, the film. Follows me on Twitter. Let's see who else here. There's a bunch. I didn't even know the director's list was a verified account, but apparently they're following. Oh, my friend Lydia. Hopefully we'll get her out here. She's a electric violinist out in Vegas. She also DJs. I don't hold it against her. She's a fantastic musician. She's following me. StopHomophobia.com follows me. Ben Bailey, the cash cab guy, he follows me. George Wallace, comedian George Wallace. That's from my Vegas days. He follows me. Stage 32. It's kind of like Facebook, except a hell of a lot less, invasion of privacy, propping up, the KGB and helping them take over America type stuff. And they're just for actors. Stage 32, they follow me. I'm sure they like that paid endorsement. They didn't pay me. Yeah, I'm not hired to endorse them, but they're cool. It's cool. I should get more into the Stage 32. Check it out. They're following me. Let's see who else we got here. Samuel Big. Hopefully we'll have him on the podcast in September. He's a comedian. You might have seen him on one of those comedian reality things. And I think he got an award for 1,001 nights of comedy that he performed consecutive. Really funny guy, really cool. He's also running for president in 2036. Yeah, like the Boy Scouts. He's prepared, and I respect that about him. Hopefully we'll get him on the podcast because he's following me on the Twitter. It's the least I can do. Equal Justice USA. Robots with Ray Guns. I have no idea what they are. I guess that's a music group, but they're following me. Let's see. Ali Spagnola. I hadn't even met Ali, but she looks pretty cool. She does music, comedy. We should probably have her on the podcast. That'd be kind of cool. Keith Powell, who I don't even know, but he plays Twofer on 30 Rock. He's following me. I don't know why. But Keith, that's awesome. Thank you, brother. Eddie Pepitone, who I have not met, but I would love to have on the podcast. He is awesome. He is a comedian philosopher, according to his Twitter. And if you've not experienced Eddie Pepitone, I'm grateful to Mark Merritt's What the Fuck podcast, because that's where I first heard Eddie. You need to have the Eddie Pepitone experience. He is an experience. He's awesome. And he follows me on Twitter. So, I couldn't be more flattered. I'm frankly more flattered that Eddie Pepitone follows me than Tom Cruise. Oh, you heard me. Yeah. The guy in Mission Impossible that if you haven't seen it in IMAX, I don't know what you're doing. You put the podcast down right now. Go find an IMAX theater. All right. Don't worry about your movie pass. It's going to be okay. Just go see it. It is so badass. But that guy, that Tom Cruise, yeah, Top Gun, he follows me on Twitter. I don't know why. Kind of feel like, Tom, we should get like coffee, across the street from one of the Scientology places. There's one in Hollywood, at least one, maybe 27. I don't know. I'm just saying, Tom, if anyone's listening to this and knows someone who knows someone who knows someone who might know Tom, I would love to like have coffee with Tom. We don't have to have microphones. We can like send TMZ to Disneyland. We'll figure it out. Just, Tom, you're following me, It's cool. I think you're awesome. Clark County, Nevada. Like, I ditched Vegas 2.5 years ago. They're still following me on Twitter. I mean, I don't know I don't know. Was that me? Sorry, guys. Sometimes there's extraneous sounds because, I can't even tell you the kinds of bands that come into the studio. Did I mention that we're at Jung Records? You should check it out. It's right here in North Hollywood. It's pretty awesome. So there's some cool bands out here. Just saying. We were talking about folks that are following me like, hey, Carrillo on Miami Vice. That's right, Eddie James Olmos. He's following me. We've got Tom is another Tom Lennon. All right, he is following me on the Twitter, which Tom's awesome. He's been really cool to me. I've done a character that is loosely based on his Lieutenant Dangle from Reno 911. So I've encountered Tom a few times. He's been very cool and gracious, and he follows me on Twitter. And I would love to have him on the podcast. So hopefully we can make that happen one of these days. Dana Carvey from Saturday Night Live. He's following me on the podcast. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this, guys, but I got a great audio engineer here over at Jung Records. I got not just any major. I have Major Wynn.
How's it going there, guys? You're in the background.
He's just making sure all the levels are good, all that sort of thing, that I don't like slobber all over the microphone, what have you. It's my first podcast, so, you don't know what could happen. He's here to kind of like, hold my hand, because sometimes I get scared. Whatever. It's a package deal. Anyway, who else is following me on the Twitter? History Channel. Yeah. I don't know why. Matt Goss. He's got a great act. If you're ever in Vegas, I guess he's at the Mirage now. When I was in Vegas, I saw him at the at Caesars, but he was like a really big deal in Britain, and then he came over here. He's a big deal in Vegas and a cool guy, Matt Goss. So you should check him out when you're in Vegas. He follows me, and I wouldn't mind having Matt on the podcast. That'd be kind of cool. I've got ABC News 7, not in LA, up in San Francisco. They're following me. I haven't been in the Bay Area for like 10 years, but they're faithfully following me, and I got to be honest, I respect that about them. That is awesome. Sega! I don't even play video games, but for some reason, Sega's following me on Twitter. The LA Times kind of makes sense, and I appreciate it. And I would love to have practically anybody who works at the LA Times on the podcast. I'm a subscriber. I also subscribe to the New York Times, and I encourage you to do the same as well. If you want to have quality journalism, you got to support your local paper. You got to do it. I know you can get a lot of cool stuff for free online, but if you want quality journalism, just, it's not a lot. Just go figure it out. Find your local paper. Get a subscription. Go online. You can do it. I believe in you. Goodreads. It's like the social media for people who like to read books. They're following me. Whole Foods Market, which is weird. Not Trader Joe's. Yeah, Trader Joe's doesn't. I don't even think Trader Joe's has a Twitter. But Sundance Film Festival. They follow me. That's awesome. I've never even been to Sundance. I've never even met Robert Redford or worked with him. That's awesome. The Las Vegas Sun. It's a newspaper. Yeah. Not a bank or something like that. That they follow me. The Roxy. Yeah, that Roxy. The Roxy Theater. They follow me. I'm actually 2 years older than them. Don't know how I feel about that. But they follow me on the Twitter. E! Sorry. It's just there's an exclamation point. E News, E. They follow me. And the piece de resistance. President Barack Obama follows me on Twitter. I know what you're going to say. He's a former president. Yeah. If you met him right now, you would say Mr. President. Okay? If I saw, the ghost of Ronald Reagan, I would say Mr. President. He was a former president. You address him as Mr. President. It's a thing. So there we have it, folks. Apparently I'm kind of a big deal on Twitter, even though nobody follows me. So you should follow me if you're not doing so already. Now, what do I say I am? I'd say I'm a busker. I'm a SAG-AFTRA actor. I'm a comic, a writer, an agnostic, and a subversive. I put the I in improv. Busker. Yeah, that's an issue. You have no idea what I'm talking about, don't you? You're American, aren't you? I knew it. All right, we'll help you out here. A busker is a street performer. A busker is a musician, like Rod Stewart, Jewel, or Tracy Chapman. A busker is a magician, like Penn and Teller. A busker is a comedian, like Robin Williams. A busker is a costumed character in Hollywood, like the methed out Superman you saw on YouTube, or the sorry Spider-Man Jimmy Kimmel faithfully trots out on a regular basis. Or a busker is my Lieutenant Frank F. Farish, a Don Rickles routine I've improvised in ladies' short shorts and rainbow tactical leg warmers in Las Vegas and in Hollywood. It's what Reno 911's Tom Lennon, yeah, that guy followed me on Twitter, he calls me his doppelganger. And it's what tourists around the world have called hundreds of other things, enough to fill a book. I probably will write it. Now, I've also worked as a background actor or extra. Maybe you saw Ricky Gervais's show called Extras. I've done that. I'm a busker and an extra. In other words, in Hollywood, I'm an untouchable. Not a cool untouchable, that's got like Andy Garcia and is a film noir, classy. No. I am of the lowest class imaginable. Porn stars, prostitutes, and reality TV personalities have more social standing than I. All I know is that my day is made the moment I hear laughter. Laughter I created in others. Now, being in Hollywood for me is like being Charlie in the chocolate factory. I'm just happy to be here. And if one day only 20,000 humans with refined taste really like what I do, I can fill an arena and live a comfortable life. In other words, most of the 7 billion overpopulating this planet can tell me to go fuck myself. Or have no absolutely clue who I am. And I'll laugh myself all the way through whatever life I choose to build for that most holy of trinities, me, myself, and I. I choose to selfishly build my empire built on the laughter of others. Perhaps even your laughter. That is my evil plan. Will you join me? I'm Mark Roman. I'm building my empire. These are my stories. This is my podcast. I hope 20,000 people or more really like it. Maybe even you. If not, what ifs? Why a podcast? I love podcasts. I listen to lots of podcasts from the New York Times, The Daily, the legacy big networks, Nightly News, ABC, CBS, NBC. I love KPCC's local Southern California news podcasts. I love it. And then there's, all of the comedians that I love. Mark Maron, Bill Burr, Greg Proops, Alan Alda, Hawkeye from MASH. He's like in his third year of having Parkinson's, and he just started a podcast. And I heard the first one. It was awesome. So I love podcasts. I want to take advantage of what I see are the strengths of an audio podcast as opposed to video. The audio, you can go long form. You can do an in-depth interview. You get into a conversation, and I as a listener, have gotten more from that format than, watching someone on YouTube or Snapchat for 90 seconds. I'm that guy. So our format's going to be pretty basic. I'll have the monologue, which this is we're in the middle of. It'll get better, kids, okay? And then I'll interview a friend of mine or someone that, I get to know who I love. We might have a few segments. We might, ultimately one day have a live panel podcast show at a Hollywood location somewhere. We might, do other things where we go mobile, where I can go to people's locations. But it's down the road. We got to grow this thing first. So if you really like it, share with your friends and buy some merch, okay? Who am I going to interview? I mean, I'm taking my basic cues here from Mark Maron's What the Fuck podcast. He started out with all of his comedian buddies. I'm going to start out with my creative friends, which include comedians. I think next week we're going to have a comedian, it looks like. My busker friends, my cosplayer friends, my friends who are actors, my friends who are musicians, even neighbors in my Hollywood community, which I know. I even laugh when I hear that. Hollywood community. What does that even mean? But it's a thing, and I live in it. It's my reality. It's my daily experience, and there's some cool people in that community, and I think you'd find them cool too. I'd like to share them with you. Also, Los Angeles types, because I love LA, and I grew up in Northern California, learning to hate LA, and I realized, we were just jealous. So I want to share more of LA with you. There's also some community organizers that I love what they're doing, and I think you'd like to know about it too. And of course, all those Twitter verified follows I got. Any one of them I think I'd like to have on the podcast. Now, as far as supporting it, right now I'm out of pocket. So, if you guys like this, I'm going to really need your help buying my merch. There is that advertising model. I don't know if I'm going to necessarily go down that road. I might a little, but look, this is my thing. And I'm a subversive. So, it's really going to be the merch. So if you like it, we'll have cool merch in the future. But right now, you got to settle for my Lieutenant Frank headshot, my poem, Son of Elmer Gantry's Bitch, and the Lieutenant Frank citation. Speaking of the poem, give you a little taste here. This is the first verse and the refrain of my poem that I wrote a few years ago, Son of Elmer Gantry's Bitch. Why do I struggle in this culture so coarse? Why don't I pursue profit without remorse? Why do I want to heal, write, and sing and feel guilty every time I permit that fling? See, scrolls, screens, and stages speak to me indeed. So many died. Some lived that I might listen, watch, and read. But why did mommy transmit that curious reading itch? Why me? Kimmy Schmidt, son of Elmer Gantry's bitch. A little taste of that for you. You can get an autographed copy on the merch link at markromanempire.com. And we'll share more verses in future episodes here. Now, last night I got to have a little bit to eat and some beverages with my good friend MRE Evans. She's back in LA. She's got a really cool series that she's shopping around. She's already got her DP getting the cast together. But she told me that I should share with you guys on the podcast a Facebook post a couple days ago that she thought was pretty funny. So we'll have a link of this on the show notes. But man, why all the negative waves? We could be heroes for one day. It's our heroes segment, guys. Heroes this week. Aretha Franklin, come on. Hopefully she's still with us when you hear this, but doesn't look good. She's had a long, rich life, but gotta love Aretha. She's definitely a hero. There's also Christine Hallquist. She is the first transgender nominee for governor for either major party, Republican or Democrat. And she's in Vermont. So that's pretty spectacular. I'm not transgender. I'm not a lot of things because I'm just a straight white guy. So it's nice to have other voices, especially when those voices are our neighbors and our friends and our colleagues and our family. You know, we should all share together in running this country, the states, the cities, all that sort of thing. She's a hero. There's also and I don't know her name, but I was hearing on The Daily, either today or yesterday, it's the New York Times podcast. There's a Rohingya Muslim woman who spoke to New York Times reporter Hannah Beach, and she was speaking to her as soldiers were watching. The very same soldiers that had been going after all these Muslims who were a minority I guess it's Myanmar. Can't even say the country name correctly. I think it's formerly Burma. Can I say that? The nation formerly known as Burma. Anyway, she was pretty courageous to do that. Probably risked her life doing so, but it's an important story that needs to be told, and I salute her as a hero. There's also a female U.S. soldier fighting deportation. Oh, you heard me. Yeah, she served her country, and she's being deported. That's how we treat our veterans, folks, in 2018, just so you know. I don't know her name either. I just heard that on NPR today. I tried to pull up a news article. There's something on NPR, an article by Vanessa Romo posted on July 9th titled, U.S. Army is discharging immigrant recruits who were promised citizenship. That's just shameful. Seriously. Also, so she's a hero for fighting and standing up for veterans who need to be taken care of. At the very least, they do a lot for us. Whether you agree with the politics, I certainly don't. But at the end of the day, they're sacrificing their life, their safety, their liberty, a lot of those things, so that allegedly we can all be safer and freer. So I salute her as a hero. I also salute Demi Lovato. I hope people give her space. She just needs to heal. She's a hero. Just surviving and healing. To me, for her, that's heroic. And last but not least, Movie Pass. I know it's got a lot of haters right now, but I think what they're doing has been awesome. It's a very small fee. I feel like I've gotten a lot of value. I really like what they're doing. I totally get that I've gotten a lot of value for next to nothing. I have no idea how they are going to be sustainable. I think they can be. I think the early obituaries are amusing. But I'm going to salute Movie Pass as a hero. All right. Next, let's go to... These are a few of my favorite things. Oh my God, that's like so LA. That's right, kids. My favorite things in LA. First one, Jeff Goldblum and the Mildred Snitzer Orchestra at the Rockwell, which is on Vermont. Literally stumbling distance from Hollywood Boulevard. I actually went there. I was actually on my bucket list this summer. And it was sold out, but I loitered. I somehow got a ticket, and I got to sit at a table just a few paces back from directly where Jeff was positioned. It was phenomenal. Jeff was beyond gracious. He has no idea who I am, but I got to get a photo with him like everyone else was there. That we were promised a certain amount of time. Jeff far exceeded that. And then did more after the show. Just a mensch of a guy. And sometimes you don't want to meet people that you love and adore in this town because you don't want to find out they're an asshole. And that I was in no way disappointed with Jeff Goldblum. He is fantastic. The Mildred Snitzer Orchestra, bunch of great guys. And a lady, great jazz singer lady. You guys definitely owe it to yourselves. Treat yourself to that. Go check out the Rockwell. They usually do it on Wednesdays when Jeff's not doing other stuff. You can find that info online. There's actually a cool LA Times, LA something. What is it? One of the LA rags. I say that with love. By Tim Greveling. I don't know. You do Jeff Goldblum and Rockwell, you'll find it online. There's a cool article. Tell you all you need to know. All right, folks, you can see me next out there in the land of the living as Lieutenant Frank on Hollywood Boulevard. You can see Lieutenant Frank also. Hey, it's almost football season, so you'll be seeing Lieutenant Frank at those LA area football tailgates, college and professional. Also, Hollywood Cap on Hollywood Boulevard with the Hollywood Avengers, our Iron Man and Wolverine. don't forget, guys, with the podcast here that we are on YouTube at Mark Roman Empire. Subscribe, view, like, and share. We're also going to be on SoundCloud, Mark Roman Podcast. Follow, listen, like, and share. I say we're going to because I'm recording this now, but when you're listening to it, it's already there. We're also on Twitter. Look at me at the Mark Roman. You know, it's like the Harry Shearer, but it's not. It's the Mark Roman on Twitter. Follow, like, retweet. Instagram, that's Vegas 90210. Like the Tory spelling vehicle. Yeah, Vegas 90210 on Instagram. Follow, like. And then if you forgot all that, it's okay. It's all right. I made it easy for you. Go to my website, markromanempire.com. And that'll have the latest info on the podcast, where to hear it, merch, all that good stuff. Now, our first guest is a lady. Yeah, not another white guy. Ashley Mary Nunes is my friend, and we met while we were both busking on Hollywood Boulevard. She cosplays Wonder Woman remarkably well. You may have seen her on Robot Combat League on the Sci-Fi Channel. If you have Amazon Prime, you can do what I did and stream the horror film All Through the House, starring the award-winning, you heard me, Ashley Mary Nunes. Enjoy my first interview. Hey guys, just a little quick note I'm dropping in here. Moral of the story, listen to your sound engineer. They know what they're talking about. So there's these different mics. There's a mic that works really well, that gives you cool, awesome sound so you can hear a really groovy podcast. There's another mic that looks theatrically awesome. You look at it, you're like, that guy's got a real podcast, like a professional in Hollywood. So, long story short, you're in the interview with Ashley. You're gonna, it's not all of it. It's like little bits and parts. You'll hear there's a band, because this place is all about music. They're doing the first podcast with me. I'm doing my first podcast. So we're all in this together. It's going to get better. But just so you know, you might hear a little bit of a band in the background on my mic, a little bit in the interview. That's my bad. Apologize. But, you know, guys, the Mark Roman Empire was not built in a day. Enjoy. Ashley.
Mark.
So happy you're here. This is awesome.
I'm so happy to be here. I'm happy that you asked me to be here.
Well, I have no idea whatsoever what the hell I'm doing, but I couldn't be more excited to be doing it, and especially to have you as my first guest. 2 reasons. One is because you're from the same part of California that I am, roughly speaking. Mm-hmm. And the second reason is, and that's how I met you, is we are fellow buskers.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I know, right? I know Penn and Teller and Rod Stewart, they're pretty proud of it too. That's why nobody knows that they're buskers.
I love it. And I'm proud. It's not something that I hide or anything. You know,
and I like that about you.
It's posted on my social media anytime, you know, that I get a nice photo. I'll post it.
A lot of people are. Like there's people that you might know as well who are really good lookalikes that, you know, they go to cosplay conventions, which I understand you do too as well.
Yes.
And, you know, they've got different types of talent representation, and they've made it very clear to me that they've been instructed by their representation to kind of, you know, ease off and really never mention the fact that they are buskers or street performers or have ever done that. And it just...
you know what?
It's so silly to me. I mean, like, Robin Williams was not ashamed of it.
No. I mean, there's pictures and evidence all over social media. So why deny something that you can find, you know, easily on the internet?
Right? When you're doing photos for donations, it's like, it might be out there, you know?
Yeah, I mean, people hashtag lots of different things, so pictures come up. I mean, I see random photos from years ago that I just discover.
Uh-oh.
You know, I'm like, whoa, I was like...
Is that a good thing, or
Well, I'm like, well, I definitely upgraded.
You have. I've seen how you have... I mean, I've done the same with my different characters. You know, you learn things, and, you know, you get more resources, you're able to get better stuff, but...
you get in better shape.
Yeah. Oh, well, I mean, you have. You're definitely speaking about you. Not that you're ever in bad shape. I, on the other hand, I need to... subdivide this one pack down here, you know.
No, you're in calf shape.
If I ever want to get, yeah, right. I I still can't believe that I do Captain America. That
No,
really
you
just
do a good one. You
floors
got the
me.
nice
Do I?
beard and everything going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the beard has kind of like taken me by
it-
surprise too. Like
It sells it.
it really
especially,
does,
especially
doesn't
for
it?
the Infinity War. It
Yeah,
definitely
right?
sells it. So
Right?
you got that going for you.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So you're from Northern California, as am I, but I think a little different part. I grew up in Auburn, just outside Sacramento. Where'd you grow up?
Well, I grew up in Vacaville, which is
I've been to Vacaville.
just below Sacramento, like maybe 30 minutes or so below.
Did they used to have the nut tree?
We have the nut tree. We don't used to. We have it.
Is it still there?
Unless they don't have it anymore. I haven't been to Vacaville in so long.
I feel like they.
It should still be there.
I don't know about
You drive
that.
it, you see it right when you pass the freeway. Did they get rid of it?
Yeah, like it's right there on 80. I think they did, like a while ago.
I haven't been to
I
Vacaville
want to
for
be
a
wrong
long
about this. I
time.
really want to because it was awesome.
And I'm from there.
Yeah, well, help us because I'm like even struggling to remember exactly like what is the nut tree? Because people are like, why are they talking about the nut tree? Like one tree, really? Like what's the big deal? It's not a tree, it's a place.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's
Okay.
like a place. I mean, I've been there. I don't really remember a whole lot. I remember our Three Oaks Community Center when we had lots of concerts there.
Okay.
Papa Roach is from Vacaville, so
wow,
before they
okay.
made it big, they played at our Three Oaks Center like almost every Friday, every weekend. They were playing there, and when they made it big, they came back and had this huge concert there. It was pretty
Nice.
awesome.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Wasn't the nut tree like it was like the orchard amusement park for lack of a or like a glorified
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I'll to be honest,
yeah.
I only remember really driving by it or seeing it on the freeway or when I'm going to, I don't know, to the movie theaters. They used to have this theater called, what is it, the Galaxy?
Okay.
I don't think they have it anymore. I don't think they have it there anymore, but that used to be like the to-go-to movie
Oh,
theater.
really?
It's like the cheap one.
Did you go to the movies
But
a
I
lot when
remember-
you were a kid?
Yeah. I went there. You prepare to go to the movies when I was a kid. I don't know about you, but
Really?
me, we would pack a whole backpack and we would movie hop.
This sounds like I'm going on a
theater.
hike in Boy Scouts backpack.
It's like that. So we would watch movies and just hop from one to the other.
Okay.
Yeah, and just hope not to get caught. Sometimes we'll like switch our sweaters, but that really didn't really make a difference.
Copy
But
that.
it was great.
Okay.
That was fun. That was fun memories.
And I know that Wonder Woman was definitely something on television. I didn't know if there was a Wonder Woman film back in the day. Was there?
There was one with Kathy Lee Crosby. She was a blonde Wonder Woman.
Okay.
It was like a television movie.
Blondes can be Wonder Woman too, right?
yeah. I
You've been
think-
blonde too, haven't you?
A little bit on accident.
On accident.
Not on purpose.
Don't you do? I feel like I've seen. So there's some characters that you do that are blonde.
Yeah. I got my Black Canary.
Is that what it is? The one
Yeah.
here. I'm seeing. I think it's the 5th most recent Instagram post.
Oh, yes. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, that's Black Canary.
Okay, so Black Canary. So if you guys got up by now, the day we're recording this, the most recent photo that Ashley has, it's classic Wonder Woman.
Yes, yes.
And then the second most recent is
Britney Spears, Baby One More Time.
Britney Spears. I was gonna say like schoolgirl, but that's tough. Yeah, you definitely got the Britney Spears.
That
Rockin'.
was a closet cosplay. That was definitely something that I whipped up in less than 15 minutes. I was actually
Wow.
trying to do a Hermione
A what?
costume. Hermione Granger from
Gesundheit? What? What?
Harry Potter.
Oh, gotcha.
And
Okay.
I had
I'm
like
not
half
fully
the
up on the
costume
Potter
on.
lore, so
Oh.
clearly,
I actually just got into Harry Potter with my son.
really.
So we started reading the books. We're on the 3rd book, and he's really into it. And so after each book, we'll watch the movie, and then we'll read the next book, and then we'll watch the movie. So it's something that I'm discovering along with him. I didn't watch it
That's a common thing. I've just heard Jim Jeffries on a recent Mark Maron's What the Fuck podcast, and he's like clearly doesn't read, and he fully acknowledges that. But he's got a son,
Mhm.
and he's actually starting to read, or yeah, at least he has plans to. But he wants to read Harry Potter books to his son,
It's a
and he
great-
figures you know. And the hilarious thing is that the whole thing that got him onto reading is from doing his show on Comedy Central,
Oh
the
yeah.
Jim Jeffries show or whatever it's called. And yeah, it's from reading the teleprompter.
Oh yes.
So it's probably the only known instance on planet Earth
Where he's actually
an
reading.
entertainer using a teleprompter has actually led to literacy.
Oh wow. No, but yeah, Harry Potter. That's when my son got me into that, and then like I really got into it, and so I geeked out, and I got like my own Quidditch robe.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm like if I were in the Harry Potter world, I would definitely be playing Quidditch, and I would be a seeker.
Okay.
That's exactly what I would do. You have probably no idea what
I
I'm
have
talking
no
about.
idea what you just said, but you know.
But it's okay.
This just reminds me of conversations I'll have with my son, and he's describing arcane elements of chemistry.
Oh
and
yeah.
I thought it was a good idea to have him explain chemistry to me.
And you're like,
And
no.
he can just tell. He can't even hear anything, but he's just
Aw.
like, okay, Dad, you have no idea what I'm talking about, do you? And I'm like, just keep talking.
Yeah, I'll just say yeah every
Right.
once in a while.
Now your son really gets into cosplay as well, isn't
Mhm.
there? Didn't you go to wasn't there a premiere of a certain
Justice
movie?
League premiere.
Yeah, so tell us what happened.
Oh
It was
my
kind of
gosh.
cool with
Okay.
your son.
So my son's name is Justice Lee, named after the Justice League. So
Of
I
course.
I was gonna go full league on his name, but decided not to be too geeky with it. So
So you've really
we're
been
like,
into DC and the Justice League and Wonder Woman
oh,
from
I was
a very
born
early age.
into it because my brother Todd, he was already a hardcore DC fan before I was even born.
Oh, really?
So I was just literally born with Wonder Woman underoos. No joke. I had Wonder Woman underoos as a baby.
That is awesome.
So I was Wonder Woman every other year.
Are we going to
for
see that
Halloween.
on Instagram ever?
I do have a couple Wonder Woman
Do you?
younger
Okay.
photos, like one where I'm like 4.
No, I mean the
think that one-
underoos. I
Oh,
think
the
that's
underoos.
what-
I have to find that picture, but I'm
Okay,
one.
alright.
Well, no, I don't even think I'm one yet. And I have the little the under yeah.
That's awesome. That is
I have to
awesome.
find that picture.
And we'll talk about your brother Todd here in a little bit,
Oh,
because he
yes.
actually wrote and directed a movie that you're well known for being in, which I just
Yeah.
watched, but more about
Oh,
that a little later.
Okay.
Because we want to get back to here talking about your son
Yeah. Oh, and the
at
premiere.
the premiere. Yeah.
Okay. So my son's favorite superhero is the Flash. He's always loved the Flash. He loves to run fast.
Really?
And- oh
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
And so
You were in track too, weren't
Yes.
you? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Now he's in track as well, I guess.
No, but I think
But he likes running.
he's into music and singing.
Oh, cool.
But I think, I mean, he definitely has the speed and the strength, and he's always loved Flash. And so we got him
Is it Flash or the Flash?
the Flash.
All right.
And so he had the costume all decked out, the Justice League, the Flash costume.
Right.
And we go to the stands. We get in because we're dressed up as the characters. And
And this is
we
the
had no
film premiere for
tickets.
which movie?
The Justice League.
Okay.
And we get in, and the announcer, like the host of the whole event, comes over, and he specifically told Justice that Ezra Miller, he's going to tell Ezra as soon as he gets out of the, his car limo, that he has a
And for
little
those
fan.
who don't know,
Ezra Miller
Ezra
plays
Miller
the
is-
Flash
oh,
in the
okay,
Justice
okay.
League. And so my son was working the crowd. He had the crowd singing, "Go Justice."
and
Go
he's
Justice."
dressed.
He's dressed up as the Flash.
That's
He's
awesome.
dancing. He was taking pictures, and he was like moving his arms really fast because he wanted his hands to look like they were blurred in the photos.
That's so cool.
But it was the best moment for me of last year because I saw my son meet his idol, and
That's so
the
cool.
biggest smile on his face. It's my screensaver still here.
Oh yeah,
That
this is a great.
smile on his face.
All right,
is-
can you post this on your Instagram so folks can see?
Yeah,
Might
it's
put it
on my
before.
Instagram.
It is okay.
already.
So
Yeah.
for that, since this is an audio podcast, for those of you listening in earbuds, it's Justice with this big, huge grin, looking right, dressed as the Flash.
Yep. And Ezra told
looking
my
at Ezra.
son that you are an inspiration to me. And that was like,
No
as
pressure.
a parent, as a parent, just
Totally
hearing
awesome.
that was the best moment like
That's so cool.
ever. So I hope to have many more of those.
So how is this, like, what happened to get to that point? Was there any one of you was pushing the other, or was it just a mutual enthusiasm that you share as a
To get into
mom and a son?
Oh, for him, he was also just born into it.
Okay.
So like he was always
Sensing a trend here.
Oh yeah, he was born into he was way born into it.
Okay.
Not only did I have my brother, but he has my brother, he has me, and he has like everybody else in the family too. And his name is Justice. So I kind of, you know.
Yeah. How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have 4 older brothers.
Okay.
My oldest passed away when I was a junior in high school.
Oh wow.
So Todd is now the oldest of the bunch, kind of, you know, the one
The
that we
oldest
always
left standing, so to speak.
Yeah, the one
Yeah.
that we turn to for guidance, or the peacemaker in the family. He's the to-go-to guy.
Gotcha.
So he's the one.
And since we're here, he wrote
Oh,
and
yes.
directed a film, All Through the House.
Yes. Christmas
Which,
slasher.
yes, which I just watched because I happen to have Amazon Prime, and
Yay!
you can stream it for
Yes.
free when you have the Amazon Prime. I don't get paid by Amazon to do that, but that's where you can see Ashley's
Or
film.
on any
And you star in it.
platform. Yes.
You were
Yes.
awesome.
Oh, thank you. It was a crazy experience because it's an ultra low budget movie.
Clearly, but there's some like cool, and I don't know, we don't have plot spoilers here for anyone that wants to watch it, because there's a lot of twists and turns.
Yeah. It's a low budget film, but it has a story.
It really does. It's a dark story.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is a horror film, but it's
a horror film.
It's
not just killing people off just to kill people off.
It's a very complex
There's a story to follow, a mystery.
Yeah.
So, the cool thing about it is that it's like set during the Christmas time, so it comes back every year.
Oh yeah, it's a classic.
So it's not one of those
like Die Hard.
Yeah. It doesn't
Yippee-ki-yay!
Yeah, it doesn't just stay or go away, because a lot of independent films,
it's seasonal. It recurs.
And
it's not just a one shot.
Yeah, a lot of them just get, you know, kind of like dusted away, or I don't even know.
And this is like a classic example of a horror film, because there's a lot of blood.
Yeah, it's like an 80s throwback slasher. So if you are a fan of the original Halloween and Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, like that kind of vibe, that is definitely the vibe that we went for, with a less budget.
Right.
But
I was always thinking, like, there's all these grisly things that happen, and I'm like, where's the police? It's like, because we live in this day and age where like everything's so like automatic, and like I'm kind of like, okay, well, you know, it's some artistic license there, and you have a budget, and but it's kind of funny, like there's all this mayhem going, and it's like there wasn't even like one shot of like, but then, you know, I guess you got to get a copyright and everything, and that's
a copyright, and that's why we're trying to place it all in one night, so when things happen, that's
the thing that people don't understand when you're trying to create a work of art, just how much preparation, expense.
A lot.
I mean, I just thought of like every time, you know, it's a slasher film, so there's like people getting cut up, stabbed, you know, and then there's blood. It's like every time that happens, like that's a whole involved project. Oh yeah. And you know, you got blood getting over clothing, it's getting on the floor wherever your set or location is, and like that it's not it's not something you just whip out in 30 seconds on your Snapchat.
Actually, the filming part of it was what took the least amount of time. All the like the prepping, the
preparation.
Yeah, all the pre and post productions is what took the longest.
Yeah. The
filming, we seriously were like done, like in and out. We took a couple takes. That was all we got to do. Right. The scenes where I'm in the main location, I was sick during that whole time that I was shooting.
No, really? I had no idea.
Oh, good.
I had no idea.
My voice is a little different, but it's not bad. No, I remember going like the first day that we shot.
Yeah.
I could not even speak.
Oh,
So it was like
no.
a struggle
What'd you do?
to get words out. I think it just started to come back. So, you know, it took me a couple
Reminded me to
of
drink
takes.
some honey water.
I know, I'm like,
here,
let me drink some water. No, yeah, it took a couple takes and then it slowly started to come back. But yeah, that week I was sick the whole entire week.
Wow.
So, and yeah, and we shot like, I don't know, we didn't get any sleep while we were there. We were filming
Sure.
our biggest fight scene at like 4:00 in the morning. You know,
Because you got a small budget, and it's like you got
Oh, yeah.
you have to get it done that day, that location.
yeah,
There's all
and
these other
we have
people.
to fight the time. We have to make
Yeah.
sure that we get all the shots done in the main location before our our last day when we have to clean up
Right.
and pack and go, and that's all we get.
Now, there's some other folks that are in this film.
Mhm.
Jennifer Winger.
Yes.
Although I think I said her name wrong because she just
Jennifer
got married.
Van Dien.
Yeah. And so who did she just marry?
Casper Van Dien.
And who's that? The
He's
kids at
from
home?
Starship Trooper.
He's the guy.
He's
who
the
stars
guy.
in
He's
Starship
Rico.
Troopers. Yeah.
No, yeah.
So we're very happy for Jenny.
Yes, it
That's
just
literally
made-
like a storybook fairy tale romance.
Oh yeah, I absolutely love them as a couple. I love Jenny. I just went to their wedding. We have this little inside Van Dien thing going. So when I say that, it's like now it's
a
just
thing?
become a thing.
It's
so
a thing. Okay. All right.
It started at the wedding and it lives on today. So
That was awesome.
Van Dien.
Well, they're actually. I was doing something with for Hollywood Cap down in San Diego on the 4th of July, and I was actually on the train down listening to, I think it was Kevin Pollak's chat show, his podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't Kevin. I think it was his right hand guy, and they had Casper and
Jenny
on the show, both of them. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So I mean, I've never met Casper. All I know is from seeing him in Starship Troopers, but. Yeah, it was just good to kind of like hear his voice, kind of hear his personality through the podcast, and
A super
nice
I know
guy. I know Jenny
Mm-hmm.
a little bit, just from working a little together.
Well, yeah,
once a
and
team.
she's from what we do too.
I'm happy for
so
her.
she's
Yeah.
she came from
Yeah, she's a busker too. Well, she's
Yeah.
the Wonder Woman that I
Wonder
originally
Woman.
knew.
from
It was
Confessions
kind
of
of
a
like the
Superhero.
archetype.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's right. She was in the
Yeah, she's the Wonder Woman from Confessions of a Superhero, this documentary that basically talks about what we do.
How are we liking the podcast so far? Do you like that it's free? Want more? This is where the other podcasts read their paid advertisements. Websites that make what you create or sell so much better. Shaving stuff for folks who have to shave. Creepy, effortless browser cookies that save you money online without necessarily accelerating your meat puppet performance review with the Cylons. Like, maybe I'll do advertising at some point, but I gotta be honest, I'm a little reluctant. Remember, I am the guy the FBI added to their subversives list. The one that doesn't exist, but Abby Hoffman's not on. That's a whole nother podcast, if not a feature film suitable for Sundance. Hey, don't they follow me on Twitter? Anyway, why buy other people's stuff? You're my fan. Buy my stuff. T-shirts, stickers, spread the news mayonnaise, the usual. Now, I don't have that stuff yet. Cooler merch in gradual progress. The Mark Roman Empire wasn't built in a day. For now, I've got Lieutenant Frank headshots and, wait for it, a poem. Oh yeah, I wrote a poem. Kids, work with me here. I'm a small operation, a working artist. So if you really like me, go to markromanempire.com, click merch, buy something. Hey, it's back to school already. That Lieutenant Frank's spreading half the news on that Hollywood hydrant makes a great gift for teacher. Or howdy, professor. Remember your New Year's resolution to read more? Well, my poem, Son of Elmer Gantry's Bitch, it's only 2 pages. Hell, I'll even autograph it for you. MarkRomanEmpire.com, click merch. Spread the news like mayonnaise on toast. I'm Mark Roman, and I approve of this massage. God damn it, he's like Burgundy. He'll read the copy exactly as printed.
I suppose I should see that.
I know. No, it was actually really funny when I first started working on
Is that the one that's got
Hollywood
the methed out Superman in it too?
No
Is it that one?
comment.
I understand. I understand. That's for another podcast. But so Jenny was like the legit Wonder Woman, and I remember when she would busk, and then she got bigger and better things that she was involved with, so she didn't need to busk anymore. And then about that time, you showed up.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, awesome.
Kind of when she was like
almost like handed the
over
baton
it.
off.
It was like a relay.
Yeah.
And like she was almost pretty much finished with it, and then that's when I started. So that's how we met. We met as Wonder Women.
Right.
So that was pretty awesome.
That's so cool.
She's my favorite Wonder Woman.
She's awesome. Yeah, I'm really happy for her and them. And
Me
I'd love
too.
to have them on the podcast. It'd be awesome.
Yes, they would be down for it. They would love it.
Okay, that'd be
They
so
would love
cool.
it.
That'd be so cool. I need to like rewatch Starship Troopers because that was a classic.
It's a classic. My son.
And kind of a like standalone. What I loved about that is it was so like kind of kitschy, goofy, over the top, the patriotism and the kind of like semi mocking of like the classic World War II,
and it worked.
And yeah, and just it was awesome the way they delivered that. So just straight faced, matter of factly.
They still play it on the Sci-Fi Channel like every day.
That is awesome.
So if you guys ever want to watch it,
it's a classic. It really is a classic.
Channel.
Which when I first saw it, you wouldn't necessarily have thought of that, but it captures a moment in time, and it's great. It's great. Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, tell Jenny.
Yeah,
I'd love to have
I
him
will.
on the podcast.
Jenny, are you listening?
Right. So, who else do we have here on the? I did want to talk to you about the awards. That's right, because you won some awards for All Through the House, right?
Yeah, we did.
Tell us about that. What awards?
Well, we premiered. Our world premiere was at the film festival RIP.
Okay.
Like kind of like a rest in peace.
Right.
Film festival. It was like
it's a fitting.
most magical time like ever. One of our scream queens from the film, Jessica Cameron, she had told us before we even had our premiere, she was like, when you have your first movie premiere, like your movie premiere,
right,
you're never going to get that first moment. So like really take it all in. There's nothing like the
kind of
first
like a
one.
first podcast.
Exactly, yes. And she was right. Like, I came to dress, to impress. I was like, everyone's going to know I'm the star of this movie.
Because you are.
I just always, wanted to, I don't know. I didn't know what my first movie premiere would feel like or be like. So.
Well, yeah, what were your expectations?
Really, I didn't have any. I just wanted to make sure that I just, looked nice. That was pretty much it.
Right.
I wanted to look nice and just be with friends and family and other fans that came and supported us. We had a full house.
Oh, that's awesome.
We were the only film that had a full house.
Where was it? Where was the premiere?
Oh my god. Or is it? It was downtown.
Downtown?
I think,
downtown LA?
I don't know if it was downtown. I can't remember the street name.
Okay. There's a lot of theaters.
I know. I'm like, why can't I remember? I know it was by
like
some.
I can like walk to half a dozen.
It was by
just
some
from where
pancake place.
Okay.
If that helps. In Los Angeles.
Yeah, no, that narrows
No,
it
that
down.
doesn't help.
Narrows it down, Because there's all those French toast places. So
I
it's like,
know.
it's not those. It's the pancake places.
It was a pancake place. It was right across the street.
Right.
I'm an idiot for not knowing.
That's all right. The important thing
But
is
I drive by
you
it all the
delivered the
time.
goods in the film. You won the award.
Yeah,
and you're showing up for the premiere. That's all that is expected,
Aw, thank
That's what
you.
location and producers are for.
Thank you. Yeah, we
Sort
got
out those details,
best slasher and best ensemble. Our whole cast as a crew.
Oh, that's so cool.
Our cast was magical. We had a great cast.
And that helps too with those awards because
Mm-hmm.
that goes on your resume as an actor
Mm-hmm.
and it helps you get, more future work. 'Cause speaking of which, like what, because that on IMDb is like that's the top film you're known for.
Oh
But,
yeah.
Maybe before we get to what you're doing right now, did want to mention Robot Combat
Oh,
League,
yes.
which I didn't get a chance to see, but tell us a little bit about that. That was on Sci-Fi, right?
That was
Sci-Fi
also that was
Channel?
on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Okay.
It aired in 2013.
Okay.
We filmed it in 2012.
All right.
But it was that was the most incredible experience I've ever had. I never imagined myself fighting, and controlling an 8-foot tall giant robot in combat, like Rock'em
That's crazy.
Sock'em robot style,
Yeah.
like that, like Real Steel, Hugh Jackman,
Wow.
kind of like that. I never imagined that. And
So how'd you? Okay, that of course begs the question. Like how
how did I?
did you land that gig?
Oh well, let's see. Years of auditioning for Big Brother.
Seriously? You auditioned for Big Brother?
Oh my god, I was
Okay.
obsessed with auditioning for that show. I
Why?
came ridiculously close to getting on.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
sorry,
I
I
probably
hate-
manifested out, I got into my head and
I'm sorry. I hate reality TV with a passion. So I just but it's weird because I
love
have
Big
friends
Brother.
that
But it's not
it's helped them with their
scripted.
careers. So
Big
it's
Brother's
like
not scripted though. So that could be a difference. There's scripted reality and then there's
you see to
not
me because they're
scripted.
they're
all
non-union and I'm like
Yeah.
I mean
Right.
a cooking show I can kind of or travel show I can kind of roll with
Kinda
that
tell.
but yeah I just yeah.
But yeah, so I auditioned.
But okay, I understand.
For
Right?
Big
It's
Brother.
gonna help you with your career.
Didn't get on it,
Yeah.
so there's that. But the producers of Robot Combat League got a hold of my audition tapes
Oh,
from
okay.
Big Brother, and that's when they called me in. I didn't know what show it was for. They didn't really specify. They kept saying a robot fighting show, and I'm like,
Right.
yeah, I'm going on Survivor.
Right,
That's
right.
what I was thinking. I was like, I'm going on Survivor. They're keeping this really low key. And then I get there and I'm like, oh no, I really am fighting robots.
Yeah, no, they
Okay.
were serious. It wasn't a
Cool.
fake, premise. So,
But no, I mean, it was an incredible experience.
so you're operating
yes.
these evil
Well,
monster robots, and you're trying to destroy the other robots. That's
pretty
basically
much, yeah. I mean, we get teamed up. We have a robo jockey, which controls the upper half of the robot, and then we have a robotech, which controls the movement.
Robo Jockey
the-
sounds like something that'd be at the strip club next door. the room for the ladies, you know.
Well, ours robo jockey, I got to throw punches.
Okay.
I hadn't done any kind of competition in a really long time. I hadn't competed in track in such a long time that I
Right.
kind of forgot how competitive I was
Really?
until my first fight.
You were triggered.
I unleashed the beast in me. I had a lot of people were kind of like, whoa, where did this come from? Because we didn't see this like for the last 2 weeks.
Right, because
So-
you're a very attractive, petite,
Oh, thank you.
and you have this very, Disney sunny disposition. So, if I can see where someone who doesn't know you or hasn't seen you in
either
many
like-
situations, they would be shocked at the
Oh, yeah.
contrast.
Yeah, if you watch the show, you'll be like, that's Ashley. But yeah, I
That's
definitely
awesome.
got super competitive. Spoiler alert. Can't get that out. But
alright.
I did make it all the way to the end.
Nice.
So the semifinal or the finals.
Did you win?
No, unfortunately not.
Oh.
But we definitely kicked a lot of ASS. I'm not sure how the language on the show is, so I'm not gonna.
You can say ass.
Okay,
I think I've
ass.
already said fucking
Oh.
shit. And, yeah, so
We
it's,
kicked a lot of ass. And
what's good? Carlin's 7 dirty words.
Yeah,
Fuck, shit, piss,
but-
cunt, cock. I'm missing a few, I think.
well, that's good.
Did I say cunt?
No censor.
I don't know.
That's
Sorry.
what you started with.
It's the, is that what they are? I think I got most of them. Okay. I'm quoting George Carlin, folks. I don't want to hear the angry tweets. Okay.
Oh. No, it was a very close match. I think it was to the point where they brought my family down, and it felt like we won. And then they turned around last minute. They brought my family back up, and then they brought the other family down.
Oh, so they got the options.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, the ones who won, their father-daughter, real steel ending. They were super nice. I mean, they were deserving. So they won. But I'd like to give a shout out to my robot, Steampunk.
Now, where is Steampunk now?
I have a little tiny piece of him.
You have a shard of Steampunk. That's awesome.
I loved my robot. I love my robot so much. My robot was like my baby. I had actually.
Now, did you build it, or like how does it? Okay.
The robots were already built for us.
Gotcha. You're the operator.
Yeah.
Understood.
We were the operator, and it was so crazy because I don't even think that they knew that the show was even gonna make it.
Right.
Like after the first fight,
Right.
like I think the first fight was really the test to see if this show was gonna do well.
Oh, okay.
And so I think that they are in talks of doing a second season. I don't know if it will be a second season.
Oh, there's only
per
one
se.
season?
Only one season.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's like, a few years back, too.
One and only.
Copy that.
But there are talks. The creator has the rights back to the show, and I think that there's some kinks that definitely need to be worked out.
Would you go back if invited?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Right
Invite
on.
me back.
Because you got to win.
I mean, they know
There's
I'm
unfinished
doing
business.
this for my son.
Doing it for justice.
For justice.
And justice.
That's the storyline that they gave me. I talked about so much stuff.
Wow.
They only aired the stuff that I talked about my son.
Oh, really? Yeah.
So they made me. It's like I had fans, like single mom fans, and then I had
Right.
also some fans who were like, "She's just doing this for using her son," and I'm like, "Oh my god, please." But you know what they say?
What do they say, Ashley?
I guess on the show, usually the most popular person is also the most hated person.
Interesting.
So I had a lot of people who supported me, but then I also had a lot of people that were just like mean.
Okay.
But that's when I learned in this business,
This
you
business of
do not search yourself and let your fans fight your battles for you. Do not engage in negativity.
I hear that a lot. I'm not famous enough to deal with that.
Well, that wasn't even famous, but like just a little bit of that. Just knowing that, during the moment of like the show is airing, like on television, there are people who are tweeting about the show.
Right,
like we even had Robot Combat League trending at one point on Twitter when it was on air. Wow,
that's awesome.
And so there'll be like all kinds of tweets, and you have to learn to just, appreciate the people who appreciate you.
Right.
And then the the negativity is like, just you don't need that.
You engage in it, and then suddenly your valuable time and
and also when you engage it, you bring attention
rabbit hole.
to that tweet.
You validate.
So why do you want to keep that tweet at the top of
exactly.
like just let it go.
Exactly.
Let it go. Let it go.
Haters be hating.
Oh, for sure. But great experience.
Well, that's cool. So now, what projects are you involved with now? Because I noticed on your IMDb, there's a couple of cool things. It looks like.
Oh yes.
That.
I have a couple
got
things
here.
filming.
Like Beasts of the Field, you play Kira.
Yes.
Safe Place, that has a larger budget.
You play Lori here. Can you talk about any of
Yeah.
these projects?
Oh yeah, I can talk. I'm not sure
Okay.
exactly how much that I can talk, but Beast of the Field.
Understood. Well, we don't want to. No plot spoil. We don't want to get you in trouble here. So.
Well, Beast of the Field, which is directed by Chase Dudley. I actually
Okay.
met him at the premiere of All Through the House.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, so we stayed in contact
And
with each other.
what's he known for?
He's known for did Marvelous Mandy. He's just got he just released a movie out, a thriller called Payday.
Okay.
And that's going to be you would be able to purchase and buy that.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's getting ready to do Beast of the Field. And he does his movies. He gets them out there. He does great quality, and he's like a director that's moving up. Each film, it's just moving up. He's not staying at a plateau. Some people are comfortable staying, at a plateau and just kind of cruising that. But we want to be bigger. We want to keep moving up the ladder. We don't want to
moving on up.
Yeah. Yes. So
like the Jeffersons.
So Beast of the Field, that one's definitely a step up for Chase, and I'm excited to be a part of it. I love my character. I'm not sure exactly how much I can say, but we're getting ready to film next month.
Okay, so you haven't even started filming it. All right, well,
we're filming next month.
It's a little early to well, I guess we'll have to have you on the podcast when that comes out.
Oh, yes, and we're filming in Kentucky, so I'm excited to just be...
So you're about to get out of Dodge here in a minute.
Yeah.
Go film in Kentucky.
Yeah, so I'm super excited about that.
We have a mutual friend, I think, just came back. I feel like it was Kentucky, that he was filming a Western or some type of period piece.
Is that Paul?
Yeah.
Yeah, Paul's from Kentucky. He's from Kentucky.
But he shot.
And he's just shot something in Kentucky?
Yeah.
That's right. I remember him talking about a Western in Kentucky. Yeah, we're filming not too far off from Louisville, so
cool.
We're kind of close to his hometown.
Right on.
There, so I'm excited about that. And then I have my brother's film, Death Ward 13, which we'll be filming after Beast of the Field. Are my hands on the DVD cover of that?
It's not yet, but you are in the poster that you see everywhere.
Yes, okay.
Your hand's been on Scream Magazine.
Are you serious?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
We are on the cover of Scream Magazine.
So if you guys go to Ashley's IMDb, which is actually Ashley Mary Nunes.
Yes.
Correct? And then it's literally on her filmography, it's the second one down that's in production, Death Ward 13.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that image, and I think it's on the right side, towards the bottom. You'll see two hands that happen to be
yours.
Mark Roman's hands. Yeah. Uncredited, which is fine. But, yeah. So we've got that.
So that was
a
super,
connection.
That was
I remember when
fun.
that day when that was shot.
Yeah, that was awesome. That was fun. It was quick. It was fast.
It was, yeah.
And the picture came out so eerie and
were you dressed as a nurse?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Death Ward 13, it's a reimagining of the 70s cult classic Don't Look in the Basement.
Which I've never seen, but I'm going to take your word.
Horror fans know about Don't Look in the Basement.
And I'm sorry, horror fans. You know way more than I do. So that's why we're having Ashley on here to help, broaden all of our horizons. All the boats are rising with the tide here.
But yeah, so it's a reimagining. So it's not exactly full-on remake, but it's pretty much the storyline.
It's a new take.
Yeah, different new take, new spin. And
cool.
Just new everything. It's how my brother would wants to redo the movie.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm super excited about that. We're going to have an amazing cast. I can't say anything now.
So that hasn't been shot yet.
No, that has not been shot yet. Casting is getting finalized.
Right on.
Yeah. So I'm so looking forward to that. It's not just a step above All Through the House. It is many steps above All Through the House. So,
that's so cool. I'm excited
really
for you
happy
guys.
for my brother
Yeah.
and this opportunity. This has been something that he's worked for his whole entire life.
and he's getting a great opportunity with this film, and I'm super happy for him.
Well, maybe, you know, when Death Ward 13 comes out, we should have your brother here together with you on the podcast.
Oh yeah, Todd is amazing. You have to have him on the show.
Yeah.
He knows everything.
Okay.
Yeah, great storyteller as well, and that's why I just actually read the revision of Death Ward 13 today, and I'm like, oh my god, just like my mind is just blown away. Horror fans get excited. Although I can say that Doyle from the Misfits is cast in our film.
Okay.
That had been released a while ago, so he will be in the film. Huge character. So,
nice.
And that will be his first horror film.
Now, see, the horror genre hasn't really appealed to me, but it's like gradually growing, and I realize that a lot of films that, in my mind, they're thrillers, I guess, are technically in the horror genre. Like, I love the X-Files, and technically, I've come to find out that's included in the horror genre.
Yeah,
so it makes sense, because half the shows are about the government conspiracy with the aliens, but the other half would be literally, I think so, with Vince Gilligan. Vince Gilligan? Whoever the creator of the X-Files is. Vince Gilligan wrote one episode, and that's where he found Bryan Cranston, and he created Breaking Bad.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the other half is they would do Monster of the Week. That's what they called it. So
yeah, there's different subgenres, you know.
But it wasn't all gory. I mean, there'd be kind of like some kind of horror moments. But to me, the suspense, like The Shining, I love that film. To me, and there's, you know, especially the twins, like, it's like really creepy. And I guess with the I just saw Ready Player One.
Oh, I
for the
still
first time last night.
haven't seen it.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good.
It.
If you like Spielberg, you like the 80s.
Yes, I
like
love Spielberg,
games,
and I love the 80s.
But I'll just say, it's almost like it's the ultimate like video sampling movie, because you see all this stuff.
My son loved it.
Which apparently was like a licensing nightmare that only a Steven Spielberg could pull together. But yeah, like you see stuff from just like
I have to see it.
It's like a 2-hour snapshot of all this just cool pop culture stuff. But The Shining's in that mix, and I don't want to spoil anything, but it reminded me of the movie The Shining, and that's a really good example for me as far as, you know, that's like pure technically horror, but to me is appealing because of the suspense and and I kind of dismissed it and poo-pooed the genre, but the reality is that you can have these really complex stories just as in any other drama. But you can also have like comedy. This crazy stuff. It's just you also happen to have
dark comedy,
blood and guts and stuff, and
like
maybe
American Psycho,
little
like
TNA too. You know?
Yeah, there's some horror fans will say there's a formula to a slasher film.
And what's that formula?
It's
Take me to kindergarten here about horror films.
It's basically, you know, boobs. Like, show a pair
Seriously,
of boobs.
it's funny, like, 'cause there are definitely a lot of boobs in All Through the House.
Well, yeah, there's one pair that actually gets shown, but
That's true.
Everyone's very,
No,
you know.
there's two.
Well, yeah, kind of.
No plot spoilers.
Yeah, I'm like, we're having like this little conversation
right.
outside.
Well, Shannon, that's fun. You want to see it, guys.
I mean,
it's a cool movie.
Everyone in that movie is pretty blessed, I would say.
Endowed
but yeah,
is
boobs,
another word,
gore,
perhaps.
blood, lots of blood.
Right.
And you know, body count.
Like garden sprinkler blood, like just.
Oh yeah, like sprinkle it, spray it on. It's like a rainfall.
Right.
And body count.
Gotcha.
You know, like just kill them off.
Now, see, I can relate to body count. That's actually Shakespearean. When I was in high school, I actually had a Shakespeare class with Mr. Duda, one of my favorite teachers. Yeah, he was a big New York Giants fan. But when we read, I think it was Macbeth, he would draw on the chalkboard a little, what we would now call, I guess, an avatar. But it would just be like his little kind of like chalk cartoon of who just died at the point we're in Macbeth. And it would just like accumulate. And it was literally a body count.
Yeah.
A Shakespearean body count. So
that's a lot.
I guess what I'm saying is horror in a sense has taken some direction from Shakespeare.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, just very, very dark. I mean, Shakespeare's dark.
Oh, super dark.
But high school can do that. That's one thing though that my brother did when he was in high school. He did Friday the 13th. I think I don't want to say it wrong. 3 or 3.
What do you mean? He when you say he did it, what?
As a stage play.
No way.
In high school.
Wow.
Yeah, the teacher just let him do his own thing. I think he even did Halloween.
So wait, was there boobs? Was there blood spraying on the audience?
No, but lots of blood. There was
you just
blood.
told me the formula.
Yeah,
I'm just going down the formula checklist. How do you do that in high school? High school play.
But yeah, he did it. He did that as a stage play in high school. Lots of blood, lots of gore.
Wow.
He had sackhead Jason.
Excuse me? What?
His little sackhead.
Oh, sackhead Jason. Okay, right.
Yeah, and yeah, lots of blood. Lots of blood. But yeah, body count. Have to have body count. There's sometimes, you know, when you're watching a horror film, and especially when it's low budget and there's no story, and it takes like 50 minutes to get a first kill, that's like...
You got no horror film.
You got no horror.
You're making a documentary.
I'm like, really? Like, if you have no story, and it's a low budget film, you gotta kill him off. You gotta kill him off in the beginning. Just.
So you got, let me see if I form right. You got boobs, you got blood, you got body count.
Body count.
You
gotta have your killer.
Well, yeah, clearly.
You gotta, you know, and a weapon.
Okay, it's like a recurring weapon or like a weapon meme or theme. Or maybe it's different weapons, but there's some sort of connection or...
Some type of connection.
Regular.
But yeah, I would just say, like, you have to have mostly just, like, those 3 to make it. Yeah. But, you know, I like movies, especially horror films, that have stories, long stories.
Right.
Like you kind of follow it. That's what I loved about All Through the House, is that it had a story to follow. There were no really dead points in it. And those are the kind of films that I like.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like to watch. I mean, I've watched so many horror films, and so many good ones, and so many bad ones.
Sure.
And the ones that were less entertaining, it was the story.
Right.
Just no story.
Gotta have a story.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because, you know, you see directors and they'll say, you know, they're all like, oh, you know, I'm just Steven Spielberg, you know, I'm just a storyteller, and it sounds really silly, but you know, that's really what it is. You're telling a story, and it's that story is crucial. Mm-hmm. It's what brings people in.
Yeah, keeping their attention.
Yeah,
and it helps with suspense. If you want to build suspense, you know, it's good to have a story to do it.
A story that works.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about your story.
My story.
Where can we find Ashley on the internet?
On the internet.
You got an Instagram.
I have an Instagram.
You got a lot of followers.
That's my favorite, is Instagram.
Right.
Yeah. I kind of like abandoned all other social media.
So you are girl the number 1 Der 2002.
I love you. Say it exactly how I tell everybody.
Are you serious?
Yes.
No idea.
Everywhere I
think
go.
we've had this conversation. Really? That's how you do it?
Seriously, everywhere I go.
We're going to have a link in the show notes. So we'll have like show notes for each podcast episode. So people can go, you know, click on it on their computers, or phones, or their
But no, that's like whenever I go to like conventions and stuff, when people are asking me, this is why I don't really tell people like, oh yeah, follow me on Instagram. It's so hard to say, you know, after like back to back to back, you know, when some people are asking. So yeah, you said it exactly how I said it, girl.
Awesome. Now you're also on Twitter, which I'm going to be doing a lot more on Twitter. It's kind of the social media of choice for the podcast here. Is it looks like you're just Girl Wonder.
Yeah. Instagram, somebody took my Girl Wonder. I was late to join, so Girl Wonder was taken.
Okay.
She doesn't even go on it, and it's private. I can't even see what she looks like.
You got a Facebook page, Ashley Mary Nunes, it looks like.
Which I'm becoming a little more active on my Facebook page.
Right on. I think a lot of people are abandoning Facebook.
Well,
they're just kind of tolerating it. I think that's what I do with it. It's like, there's not a lot of excitement there.
Well, what I discovered is whatever you post to Instagram, you can share it onto your Facebook.
Right.
And so that's how I become active on my Facebook again.
There you go.
Just by sharing my posts from Instagram.
We got different audiences, you know. Also you've got YouTube,
and
which is also
right.
I just subscribed to you on YouTube
you did?
today. Yeah, the podcast Mark Roman Empire on YouTube is
I hardly go
subscribe
on my
to you now. It's
I'll
Ashley Mary Nunes on YouTube.
Yes.
I mean, if you guys aren't following Ashley already on the Instagram, definitely do that. But
yes, on the
these
Instagram.
other ones. These other ones help out too, so we get the numbers up a little bit there to kind of catch up. You get some healthy numbers for Instagram. I love to have those numbers. Now, tell me, and this is probably a good note to end on here. Tell me about your Patreon page.
Yes.
What is that all about? Because I've been hearing about this from a lot of people, and it's usually always ladies. I don't know what that is. But what is Patreon, and what's your Patreon?
Patreon for me, is not what most people... I mean, a lot of people who are on Patreon, they do a lot of lewd stuff, lewd photos, and that's not me. So if you're looking for that, you're not going to get it on my Patreon.
Gotcha.
But basically, my Patreon is for my supporters, people who just want to basically see what I put on Instagram, but more of it.
Well, I remember you were doing something when you were building your the most recent Wonder Woman movie, the new Wonder Woman, that costume, and you were trying to put that costume together, and I feel like I remember seeing on social media your Patreon was involved with that, so it was reaching out to your fans to help you get that.
Oh, that was actually GoFundMe. That's before Patreon.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, my
it's
fans.
A similar concept.
My fans helped me fund that costume.
That's awesome.
So that was amazing. Just took me a while to find the right people to do it. You know, like make it the way I wanted it made.
So what is it like? I mean, we are in this Me Too era, and I'm sure, I mean, there's a lot of things, you know, I'm another white guy, so a silly white guy. So there's things that like I don't have to deal with because I'm a guy.
Yeah.
What's it like when you're a woman in LA in the entertainment industry? And let's be honest, like just any woman, you know, an attractive woman.
Oh, thank you.
What do you find that you have to deal with, and have you noticed any changes, especially in light of now we're in this Me Too era?
I have to say that I'm very blessed that I have my brother that is, you know,
there you go,
right by my side. So there's a lot of things that I hear and see from that my friends experience that I have yet or haven't experienced.
So you have a built-in chaperone.
Basically, I mean, because if you mess with me, you are messing with my brother, and if you want to work with my brother, you better not mess with me. So
it's kind of unfortunate that you have to have, you know, whether it's your brother or someone else,
and
a person
you know what?
there that.
I grew up watching so much Lifetime movies that it really helped shape my street smarts.
Gotcha.
And I would say that I'm very observant. I'm very aware and not gullible. I'll be gullible on the light note, but on a serious note, life or death, I am not gullible at all. I have eyes in the back of my head.
Right.
So yeah, I'm super observant and nothing gets by me. And I don't drink. I'm not a partier. So I'm not going
You
out.
don't drink.
I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do pot. I don't do nothing. I I don't do.
It's a
any
very
of-
hollow thing to not drink. It's not, because of, trying to overcome an addiction or stuff like that.
Mm.
But, literally, like, I've seen this myself. It puts pounds on your face, on your
Mhm.
body.
Which
And
is
if you
sad.
cut alcohol out,
Mhm.
it's a lot easier to, maintain, a healthy body.
Mhm.
That not only do you feel better and you're able to perform whatever you're doing work-wise,
Oh, yeah.
but also you look better. And when you're in an industry where
Well,
looks
yeah,
are a
and you're
factor.
coherent, and if you're doing business, like when you're doing business and you're sober and you're coherent and you remember what you talked about.
You're not vulnerable.
I don't like talking to people who've been drinking because it's like they can say one thing one moment
Right.
and then the next day they completely forgot. So a lot of people asked. I don't get asked anymore because there's so many times I've turned so many people down. Oh, let's go have a drink and talk. Like other people in this business who I should talk to, but I don't want to talk to. I'm sorry, but I don't want to talk to you or anybody while they're drinking.
Right. So what do you do for fun? What's
Oh my gosh. I'm a theme park junkie. I love theme parks.
Really?
Yes. I love roller coasters. I love rides. I know. So I like Six Flags. We just went to Dollywood in Tennessee for Jenny Casper's wedding.
Okay. So is Justice on board with us as well?
I'm working on the roller coasters thing with him.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. See,
So Mom's more excited than
he definitely was
than
not
Justice.
like me when I was a kid. I literally went on like I think my first ride was when I was 4 on Space Mountain at Disneyland. That was my first ride, and then I only remember going on scary rides. I don't remember ever. I remember stuffing my shoes to make sure I'm tall enough. There was a ride at Six Flags that we were so into, my family is so into theme parks that we used to, when I was 10, we put a cast on my leg. A cast on my leg and wheeled me around so he didn't have to wait in line. This is before Fast Pass was a thing.
My God. Really?
So we would roll. So my mom, she's all watching us on the Batman ride at Six Flags, and she could tell exactly where we were 'cause she just saw my cast,
That's
flying around. But yeah, there was one ride, I forget what it's called, but they made me sit alone, and I was so small, and I was only 10. I was my son's age now. And, can't believe they let me ride by myself because I would not let my son ride by himself.
Right.
That'd be like, no.
Things were a lot scarier and a lot more dangerous for kids when I was a kid.
Mhm.
Definitely.
Oh yeah. I'm like, nope. I'm still grateful that my son he still holds my hand. Like he goes
cute.
and he grabs my hand.
And how old is your son now?
He's 10.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a sweet boy. He's so sweet. I'm so
Spoken like a true proud loving
lucky.
mom.
Oh my gosh. I'm so lucky. He's just the nicest kid. He wants to help everybody.
Yeah.
If someone can't find, something, my son is the first one to help
Well, that's awesome.
with everything. So, and he always kisses me on the
He's
chin.
got a good model here in his
Aw,
mom, so.
Thanks. Oh, and also, I have this picture right here.
You've given me a picture of you in a classic Wonder Woman costume,
Mhm.
which is awesome. And I actually have a Lieutenant Frank headshot that I'll autograph for you.
Woo-woo!
And
Love it.
I think we did good here. How did you
Yeah.
feel like you got to say
I
a
think
few
I could
things?
talk for a really long time.
That's why we're doing the podcast audio instead of
podcast
video,
audio.
because
Oh,
you can
yeah.
go deep like this. But we definitely need to bring you back with Todd
Yes.
to talk about the next movie when it comes out.
Oh yes, and also we might be doing interviews during filming. So if you would be interested to come
nice.
to the set too and do some interviews
Well, that sounds
on
interesting.
set, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
On set interviews.
Well, Ashley.
So make it to the DVD section.
Right?
The special features.
I like it. I like it a lot. We'll have to look into that.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you.
Well, thank you, Ashley Mary Nunes.
Oh, you say my last name right. So many people say it wrong.
Really?
Yes.
All right. Well, again, for everyone out there, it's Ashley Mary Nunes.
And you said it right again. I was afraid you were going to get it wrong again. Well, thank you. Thank you. This was fun.
Well, there you have it. Wasn't Ashley great? We'll have the show notes up at markromanempire.com so you can easily reference any links or other helpful stuff that were mentioned. Wow, the first podcast episode in the can. I hope you like it. If you did, share it with a buddy, a friend, your brother, sister, mom, dad, boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, son, daughter, cousin, aunt, uncle, coworker, or that guy in that thing you do. You know, the thing at the place. That guy, or lady, or a person with a more groovy gender, whoever. Time to spread the seed of this podcast and make it grow. Follow and like on the YouTube and the SoundCloud and whatever other platforms we manage to get. Now, making this free to you podcast costs me money, kids. So if you like it and want more, buy my merch. The Lieutenant Frank headshots and citations, my poem. It's what we got now. It's enough. Where to listen to the podcast and my merch, links to all of that you'll find at markromanempire.com. Know anyone vacationing in Hollywood? They'll want a photo with my Hollywood cap or spread the news with Lieutenant Frank. See what that looks like on my Instagram at vegas90210.com. It's also a website too. Just Vegas90210 on the Instagram, okay? Don't tweet me. I got it. All right. It's the first podcast. All right. Give me a break. By the way, buskers like me get no salary. So always remember to generously tip your busker. That's it, gang. Until next week, I remain Mark Roman.